I gotta admit, I'm taking a bit of a risk with this video because I am releasing not just one previously unpublished paper airplane, not just two previously unpublished paper airplanes, but I am releasing 3 paper airplanes that have never been published anywhere before. So I need this video to do at least as well as 3 independent paper airplane tutorials. And to that end, I'm willing to work with you a little bit. I'm willing to make a deal where you can get some stuff for free. If you like and share this video enough that it gets 1 million views, I will release a template for Astral for free. If this video gets 2 million views, I will also release a template for Skypiercer for free. And if it gets 3 million views, I'll release a template for Vapor as well. Now, if you're a patron, of course, I'm going to make those and you're going to get them anyways because you're already supporting this channel. So with that in mind, let's see the planes. All 3 of these paper airplanes are relatively easy to fold and they are excellent performers. Skypiercer can fly over 150 feet, which is insane. Vapor is just an incredible glider, and Astral looks amazing and has really cool flight attributes as well. So let me show you all of these planes in flight, and then I'll teach you how to fold them. All you will need in order to fold Vapor is an 8.5 by 11 inch sheet of paper or an A4 sheet of paper, and we'll begin by folding the right edge to the left edge. As always, symmetry is important, so try very hard to line up your corners before making your crease. And now we're going to fold this top edge here to our folded edge, and we want our crease to go right through that top right corner. And we're just making triangles like you do for so many paper airplanes. Once you do one side, you can flip it over and fold the other side to match. And then open your paper up and it should look like this. Now we'll go ahead and fold our top point down. And basically we want the crease we make to be 1 inch above this edge here. Anything close to 1 inch is great, so I'm just estimating here and creasing it like so. Now we'll go ahead and fold this edge into the center. And then I'll do the same thing on the other side. And then I can open both sides up. And now I want to fold this edge here to my crease. And basically I'm just leaving a very slight gap, because when I close this up in just a second, it will be easier if I don't take that edge all the way to that crease. So I'm closing it up like so, and then we can do the same thing on the other side. So folding this edge almost to that crease, just leaving a tiny little gap, and then closing it up. Okay, now just fold this point up over those other flaps as far as it will go, and fold the paper in half away from yourself on that existing crease. And now it's time to fold the wings, and I want you to start your wing crease a little bit above the nose here and do a gentle slope up towards the back that hits about 2 inches from the bottom corner here. Anything even similar to that is great, but you can see how my wings are shaped there, and that wing crease is in fact hitting the back edge about 2 inches above the bottom corner. I'll flip it over and fold the other wing to match. And there we go. This is a finished Vapor, and I would encourage you, you're probably going to need just a tiny bit of up elevator on the back, and you can play with that to see how your plane behaves. but it may nose down slightly if you don't add any up elevator by bending those back edges upwards. All you will need in order to fold Sky Piercer is an 8.5 by 11 or A4 sheet of paper, and we'll begin by folding this right edge to the left edge. As always, accuracy is important, so try very hard to line your corners up properly before making your crease. And with your paper folded in half like this, we can now fold the top edge to this folded edge and make triangles just like we did for Vapor, and as you do for so many paper airplanes. And once you do one side, just flip it over and fold the other side to match. And now we'll go ahead and open the paper up. And I'm going to fold the top point down and land it on my center crease here, but I want my crease to go right across these edges at the bottom, like so. And now I can flip my paper over, and I want to fold this edge here into the center. And I'll do the same thing on the other side as well. And now I will actually unfold both of those, flip the paper back over, and I'm going to open up this pocket. And basically my objective here is to land this crease on my center crease. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to kind of push on this crease here and use my finger here to pull this in. And you'll notice it wants to fight you just a little bit at the front here. It's not going to nicely land this crease there. So you need to make sure that this section right there becomes concave and you can fold over it and drop that crease right along your center crease. And then you can crease out here as well. So you're creasing in two places. One's kind of a layer hidden by this top layer and one's right there. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. Pulling this in, and I'm making sure that will fold over, and then I can just drop that on my center crease. And apply my creases like so. And now I'm actually going to back out, unfold all that, flip my paper over again, and I want to fold this edge into my center crease, but I'm only creasing until I hit this diagonal crease here. So watch, I'm pulling this whole edge in, but I'm only creasing at the very top from right here to my top point, and I'll release that and do the same thing on the other side. Okay, and now I will flip my paper back over, fold this back down, collapse these back in, and now I'm ready to use that crease I just made, and I'm kind of opening this up just enough to show you. I'm folding this in. Sorry, here, let me get it started because it's actually easier to work with while it's flat like this. I'm folding this in so you can see I'm using that existing crease I just made and I'm folding that tab in all the way to my center crease. I'll do the same thing on this side, just grabbing that, folding in like so. And now your plane should look like this. Okay, now we'll go ahead and fold this edge here into the center. And do the same thing on the other side. And now I can open both of those creases back up, and I'm going to fold this edge here to this diagonal crease. I'm going to leave just a tiny gap because I'm going to be closing that layer up. Leaving a tiny gap helps with that. I'll do the same thing on this side. Just a tiny little gap there. And now my plane should look like this, and I will roll in on the existing creases. And now I just fold this point right here up over those layers as far up as it will go. And that should lock our layers together. Now I can just fold the plane in half on that existing center crease. And now we're ready to fold the wings, and you'll feel right about here there's this really thick, sharp corner. And basically that's one of the references for this fold. We want to start pretty high above the nose of our plane here. And I'm folding my wing down, and basically I'm finding that transition to a really thick layer and using that as the point over which I fold my wing. And I want the wing to go a little past this back corner here. So something like that is great, and then I will flip the paper over and fold the other side to match. And there you go. Now you have a finished Sky Piercer. You may find that you need just a little bit of up elevator with this to make it glide as far as possible. It should fly pretty well even without that, but this will maximize its distance. All you will need in order to fold Astral is an 8.5 by 11 or A4 sheet of paper, and we'll begin by folding the right edge to the left edge. Okay. And now you'll notice we're beginning all three planes exactly the same way. The next step is to fold this top corner to this edge here and make a little triangle. My crease should go right through that top right corner. And then I'll flip the paper over, fold the other side to match. Okay, and now I can open this up. And I'm going to fold my top point down, and I want my crease to go right across those bottom layers. The bottom edge of those layers, rather. Okay, and the next step is to fold this top edge down, and the way that I'm going to determine how far I want to fold that is basically I'm just estimating here. I want this top band to be the same distance from this edge to the crease I'm about to make as this edge to that point there. And this is just an estimation. Seriously, anything even close to this is going to work great for you. And I'll crease all the way across. Now I'll go ahead and unfold that, fold this up, and flip the paper over. I'm now going to fold this edge in, and basically I want to land this crease I'm about to make on this edge here. And then just extend the crease all the way out to the edge, like so. And I'll do the same thing on the other side. And then I'll unfold both of those, flip my paper back to this side, fold this down, fold that down, and now I'm ready to do a swivel fold using this crease I just made. So I'm pulling that open, and basically I'm going to try to land this corner right here on this top edge. So watch, as I pull that open, I can collapse this whole pocket and aim that corner to land right on that edge. And then I can crease this here and that there. I'll do the same thing on the other side. So I'm opening that pocket up, kind of forcing that portion open with my right hand as I close up with my left hand. And now I'm landing this corner right on that edge, and then I can crease here and there. Okay, and now I'm going to fold this in, and basically I'm trying to land this edge here along my center crease, which will mean that some of the paper goes across that center crease. And I'll go ahead and unfold that to do my other side as well. Okay, and now you'll notice we have these tabs that will actually perfectly lock behind this layer. So if I close this on that existing crease and tuck my tab behind this section at the same time, that will very nicely lock this layer behind that and hold it in place. So I'm closing and tucking that tab in behind at the same time, and there you can see we have a nicely locked plane. Now I'll go ahead and fold this edge into the center crease, like so. Unfold it and fold my edge into the crease I just made. And repeat those steps on the left side. And now all that's left to do is kind of fold this in half on that existing crease and set my wing angles. So basically I like something somewhere similar to this. And the way that you throw this plane is you're just pinching it, and when you release it, you can see it springs back into that position. Now you can really play with the wing angles here. For instance, if you close that way up, that will change the characteristics of the flight. Also, if you open these way up, that will also change, and you can experiment and see exactly how your plane behaves in each scenario and what you like best. Now, because there is a slight amount of asymmetry in this plane, you may find that it wants to roll one direction, and if it's rolling clockwise, you can add a little up elevator on this side and a little left rudder on this side to counter that roll. And likewise, if it's rolling in the opposite direction, you would just do the opposite. So with that said, good luck flying your plane.